Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hello. Welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. Today we're going to be making this. This is how we do it. Funny. Yes, this is the tiny head effect. This one can get slightly complicated. I've deliberately chosen an image where it's quite easy to do. You probably will stumble into issues in doing this method. There is another method, but it involves sort of warping the body, and we'll do that another time. This is a very simple tinification of the head effect. So we have our subject here, the lovely Mr. Matthew Healy of the 1975, whom I photographed at a music festival. Let's get straight into it. We've got any music. What should we go for today? So there we go, we've got some bangers on. Let's go. So first thing you want to do is remove your subject from the background. Now, we've got a fairly simple background here, and it should be quite easy. If your background is complicated, so say you've taken a photo of someone at an event, and there's lots of people behind them, there's lots of heads, there's lots of detail, don't use that photo. Ultimately, photos of people on plain backgrounds, white walls, black walls, green walls, a wall of any description, brick wall, maybe not, because that is a detailed background. You get me? Anyway, first things first, Command J, we are going to duplicate our layer. So we're going to take our layer, the top one's going to be called head, the bottom one's going to be called background. Command J, once again, duplicate your layer one more time, and we're going to be calling this one body. So we've got background, body, head. Hide your head and your body layers for now. Come to the background layer and make your selection of your subject. You can do this many ways. I've said before, you can figure out yourself how to chop things out. I might do a video on it, who knows. But today we're going to use the quick selection tool, which is W on the keyboard. And just click, 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 click. Now, we don't need to worry too much about the selection other than up at his head, but you might as well select the whole body anyway. Once we've got a selection, we're going to come up to the top panel, click select, down to modify and expand. Expand it by 8 pixels isn't going to be enough for this particular image, so come back here, expand by 20 pixels. There we go. Now make sure our layer is a smart object, so right click and go to smart object, then right click and go to rasterize layer. Now, once we've done that, we're going to click Shift and Delete. Bosh. Bosh! That's going to bring up our Content Aware fill. Just click OK, and it's going to work some voodoo magic for us. Gold. Always believing so. Voila. Yeah, pretty good. We've got a bit of his hair still sticking up here, so we're just going to paint that away. Click S for our stamp tool. You're going to hold Option or Alt and click somewhere where you want to sample to paint out, and then just start painting out. So this is just to make this a bit more believable. If you've got any hard edges, get rid of them. Again, cutting people out of backgrounds totally depends on the image. Sometimes Photoshop nails it on the first go, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, so what we're now going to do is separate the head from the body. So once again, W, keyboard. Coming to here, we've got... Now, the quick selection tool is probably not the best tool to be using here to cut the head off. I would, if I was doing this not quickly, would use the pen tool. However, again, we're doing this quickly. Good tip here, whilst using the quick select tool, if you come up here to select and mask, and then on the left hand side you're going to see this choice of 3 brushes. Click the middle brush, which is the refine edge tool, and this is going to be really useful for getting in things like the hair. So we're just going to run over these excess bits of hair that have a lot of the background layer still sticking out with them, and again, Photoshop's going to do a bit of magic so that we select these bits of hair really well. Cool. Okay, and we now have this head selection. Right click on the head, convert to smart object. Now, once we've done this, we need to get rid of the head on our body layer. So, come into the thumbnail, right click, select pixels. Come down to our body layer. So this is now the head on our body that's been selected. Again, go to the top panel, click select, go to modify, expand. We'll do 15, 20 pixels, whatever you want. Now, body layer. Again, make sure we have converted it to a smart object. So right-click, convert to smart object, and we've rasterized it. That is now rasterized. On the body layer, simply hit delete. Yeah. Now, nothing's happened, Paddy. Oh, but it has. Look at that. If we hide our head layer, we will see that's been gotten rid of. Now, there is a bit of a feathering problem here, so once again, we're going to click S for our stamp tool, select just outside of where these weird angles are, and simply paint them away. So once again, that's Alt, and you click, Alt and click to take a sample, and then click again to use that sample to paint away and replace what you want to replace on the layer that has gone horribly wrong. A point I should mention for the clone stamp tool, come up here to the top, make sure you've got all layers selected, because that's going to draw information from all the layers. Cool, so we now have a headless Matt Healy. Come back up to the head layer, turn it back on, Command T, and we're literally just going to shrink him down. Now, you're going to have to do a bit of lining up, and we might have to do a bit of masking to get to reveal the edges of his jacket and things like this, but just sort of eyeball it for now. And yeah, he just sort of looks weird, and his head is tiny. Do you know what? That'll probably do. And that's how you do it. Tiny head effect. Again, this is a very quick version. The angle at which, you know, you've got a collar, so it's quite easy to just make it look like you're sliding the new head in below the collar. Hope you enjoyed this one. Take care. Hope everyone's having a good time. Yeah, rock and roll never die. See you in the next one.